You guys, we gotta talk. I'm peeing, hold on. So I was laying in bed watching TikTok like I do for hours at a time, sometimes in the evening. And I was scrolling, and I see this post from this guy, and he's talking about these two people that are in recovery, Mike and Vic. And I was like, I'm going to listen to what this guy has to say, because he seemed really upset. He's talking about this guy, Mike and Vic, who take donations to put people into treatment. I have been helping people for 5.5 years online, and I've never taken a donation to put anyone in treatment, ever. I get scholarships for people. I will go above and beyond, and I've never taken a dime from anyone. Say it ain't so. These dudes are getting tens and thousands of dollars donated to them under the guise that they're using it to put people in treatment. Well, one of the guys that they did it to paid for his treatment. The guy found out that his treatment was free. They didn't pay a dime for it. And they also took out an insurance policy in his name. What these guys are doing is body brokering. That's body brokering. What they're doing is illegal. And I promise you guys, they will get caught up. They will get caught up. Taking donations underneath the guise that you're paying for people's rehab and then pulling out insurance plans in that person's name without their consent is against the law. And so while you troll ass motherfuckers come on my page and try to accuse me of being a body broker, there are like real time people here doing this. These dudes are going to go down. Dude, I cannot believe that. That is horrible. I have been there's so many of us that help people get into treatment, and we don't get a dime. Dude, when I tell you, I have lost money putting people into treatment. I have paid for people's tickets to go on a plane because they didn't have enough money to get there. You know what I mean? Like, this is horrible. This is horrible. But I'm telling you guys, do not send people your money. Stop sending these TikTok famous people your hard-earned money. Okay? Like, when are people going to learn? Like, these cats were getting $5,000, $10,000, $5,000, $10,000. It's a damn shame. Well, I'll tell you what I did. I reached out to my girl who is actually, I guess basically she's a federal agent, and she investigates shit with rehabs and people that are doing that body broker and shit, right? So I just messaged her these dudes' accounts and took pictures of all three of them and sent them to her and told her, hey, this is what's going on TikTok. Supposedly these dudes have been taking donations to put people in treatment, but they're actually putting them in free treatment centers or referral relationship treatment centers and keeping the money and then pulling out insurance plans on the people without their consent. And so now this guy has an insurance plan that he didn't consent to, and he, like, that is, oh my God. If people are asking you to donate money to them so they can help somebody go into treatment, like, it's a red fucking flag. You need to run the other way, okay? Because there's all kinds of resources to free treatment in every single state, okay? Every single state. There's no reason why a third party should have to take a donation to place somebody else. Okay, now I can see if somebody comes online and they're struggling with addiction and they don't have enough money to get on a train to go to the treatment center. I could totally understand, like, throwing them some money to buy themselves a train ticket. But do not give people money to pay somebody else's way into treatment. It's 100% almost always 100% a lie, okay? There's no reason why someone else should have to pay for you to go to rehab, okay? Ever. And if somebody is like in recovery, like with a following and a recovery advocate, they normally have access to free treatment, okay? Like I have access to free treatment for people, and I help people get, the stuff that they need without costing a single dime. And so y'all, please please protect yourselves, okay? I just feel like this should have never happened. These fools, these cats should never even be, like, that's a disgrace to the recovery community. You know what I mean? Like, it's people like that, these crooks, like these dudes, like, that's not recovery. Stealing people's money so you can say you're putting people in treatment, like, that's wrong, dude. I don't know. I just thought that was like, I think it's so ironic how people were trying to call me a body broker when I spend 24 hours of my time helping people for $0.00. And there are literal people on this app taking money and donations to put people in treatment, but they're really keeping the money. It's just like, I had to come on and say something about it. I had to say something about it. There's no reason why you should ever have to send anyone money to place somebody else in treatment. Ever. Okay? Ever. Part of getting sober is becoming responsible. Part of changing your life is doing uncomfortable things and having to make do with what you get. And so there's no reason why any of these people should have to pay $10,000 to go into a treatment center. Ever. Okay? Like, you can literally get put on a wait list to go into treatment in every city in the United States of America. And then if you know somebody like me who works for somewhere, I work for a MAC clinic, I work for a doctor, so I have resources to other people that own treatment centers. So I can try to help you get into one of those places. There's no reason why you should ever have to give somebody money to go to treatment. So I just thought I'd say that. Please be careful who you follow on this app. These people are like, they just really, all they care about is taking your money. Like, that's what they want. They see you as an easy target. They're sitting here and they're like, oh, look at the loser on the other end of the screen who doesn't have a life and they worship me. Give me your money now. Oh, good job, Allison. I'm proud of you. Good job. Those first couple of days are hard, huh? But you're doing it. Fill your time with some positive things. Spend time with your family and people that support your sobriety. You know what I mean? And try to get yourself a little plan of action, to stay on the right course, Oh, really? Yeah, I believe it. He's one of those people. He works he only sends people to certain treatment centers. When is that Banyan one or whatever? See, like, that's unethical. Okay. So that would be like if every time one of you guys reached out to me, the only place I sent you to was Dr. B. That's unethical because Dr. B might not be a good treatment option for some of you guys, And so if I just constantly send you to the same place, that's illegal and unethical. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to help the client or patient find what best suits their needs, right? And so, for instance, we're talking about people taking donations to put people in rehab and how they're taking money from people and keeping it. These two dudes here on TikTok. What was this? Oh, yeah. Anyways, yeah, you shouldn't have to take money from anybody to put somebody in treatment. Oh, yeah, it's unethical. Okay, so if somebody is looking for treatment, my job is to just give them options. I give them options of all kinds of different treatments. I say, do you want to do outpatient? Do you want to do inpatient? Do you want to do online treatment? Do you want to do mat treatment? Do you want to do faith-based treatment? Right? And then we narrow down what they want to do, right? And then I'll help them find whatever works for them. But if I just constantly am sending somebody to one place, like, that's wrong. That's not right. So anyway, I'll tell you this, those dudes, they will get caught up, because the IRS will come after their asses if the federal if the FBI don't, okay? Because I'm telling you, like, taking donations in the name of helping people ain't right. I'm having a hell of a time with QuickMD and getting my prescription filled. Oh, are you really? Recovery Delivered is the link to Recovery Delivered is in my bio. They actually have a pharmacy where they can fill your prescriptions at their whatever it is, their online place, and then they mail them to you. They ship them to you. It's pretty good. I do Recovery Delivered, and they're, oh my gosh, I have a secret to tell y'all. They are going to start doing ADHD, weight loss, hormone replacement therapy, and STD medication. Like, they're going to be a wraparound telehealth. Recovery Delivered is. The online treatment, the one that I am associated with is Self Recovery. So it's an online recovery treatment program that you can do from the comfort of your own home. It's on video on your computer, and it was created and it's taught by a board certified psychiatrist, Dr. Daniel Hochman. There's a link to it in my description up there. But yeah, you can switch to them. If you do switch to them, Breezy, give them my name, Nicole, and they'll give you 50% off your first appointment. So it'll only be $49. And make sure you let them know that you're already an established Suboxone patient, like you've been going to a doctor for a while. So that way they won't make you do bi-weekly. They'll put you on monthly. Hey, Darren, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I just had to come on here and tell y'all about that. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw all the donations that these people have been accepting in the name of putting people in rehab. Like, it's just really, really fucked up. It's really fucked up. You know, like, that's a lot of money. Yeah, so is it CVS and Walgreens that are giving you a hard time? Because I've heard that they have been doing that about telehealth. But like I said, if that's the case, like I said, Recovery Delivered has a pharmacy and they can just ship it right to your door. Yeah, that would be cool. The way I got my job is I was on YouTube and Dr. B found me on YouTube talking about Suboxone. Yeah, that's what they've been saying. They're like created some kind of new policy. So if that's the case, like I said, you could go with Recovery Delivered, because we have our own pharmacy. So you have to pay for your medicine. You pay for your appointment, which is at $49, and then you pay for your medicine too. But then after that, it's $89 a month just to see the doctor. And I don't know how much medicine is, but I'm sure they have some kind of coupon or something, hopefully. You know, what I would do if I were you is I would go on there on the website and just, Christine is the lady who usually answers the messaging board. Just ask her, you know, what how much it will be altogether if you use Nicole's name and get your medicine. No, it's a really cheap price. Me and my husband were paying $250 per appointment. So, yeah, Recovery Delivered is the cheapest telehealth clinic for Suboxone in the United States. My friend Marcus started Recovery Delivered because his friend passed away from an opiate overdose, like his best friend. And so he started Recovery Delivered back in 2020. Well, I met Marcus when I came to TikTok, and I said, man, does this do Suboxone treatment? And he's like, yeah. And so I just organically started sharing about Recovery Delivered because I wanted to have as many options for people who wanted to do MAT that I could. So for 2 years, I shared about this program. Didn't make a single red cent. Wasn't paid to do it at all. And in 2022, around October, I started thinking about it. I said, man, I've been blowing their clinic up. I bet you I've sent them like hundreds and thousands of people, right? And so I reached out to Marcus and I was like, can I become a part of the team? Because I might as well be, because I'm I'm talking about it all the time anyway. Because it was just like it was just natural for me to talk about it because I'm on Suboxone and I believe in it, you know? And he goes, yeah, that would be awesome. And I was like, man, that's what's up. You know what I mean? That's the only way I've ever gotten any of the jobs that I work, is because I have like organically met with the people, like just because I was talking about them or because I was researching them. And then I, talked about them because I wanted to for a long time. And then they reached out to me, and asked me if I wanted to work with them. Yeah. So, I didn't used to be confident enough to ask companies or brands to pay me for talking about their products because I thought like I wasn't worth it or something. I don't know. But one thing I do know is that people trust me and they know that I know my shit when it comes to Suboxone. And so I know that I'm an asset to any place, any MAT place that wants to have me on. I'm an asset. And so I started thinking about it and I was like, man, I'm a hard worker, And so that's how 2 years of doing it. And then I finally said something. I said, can I be a partner? So that's what they call it. I'm a Recovery Delivered partner. And I get my treatment there too, y'all. So it's legit, I really enjoy it. And today I was I was chilling online, right? And Marcus had texted me. I'm not supposed to tell you all these things, but he texted me and he was like, hey, we're going to be doing telehealth for ADHD, telehealth for weight loss, telehealth for hormone replacement therapy, telehealth for medication if you get a sexually transmitted infection. Like, they're branching out. Like, they're going to be the biggest telehealth provider in the United States of America. Watch. It's pretty cool. I'm going to see if I can go there and get me some weight loss. I'm going to say, can I get that Mounjaro shot everybody's getting? Because I'm hearing all these girls are losing all this weight with those GLP-1 receptor agonist shots like Saxenda, Mounjaro, Ozempic. So what those shots do is there's a thing in our brain called the GLP-1 and it's like what makes us hungry. And so, or something like that. It's hunger hormones. And so when you take that shot, it's basically makes you not hungry. So it kind of blocks those hormones, kind of like Suboxone blocks the opioid receptors. AA. So I'm going to see if I can get me some of that medicine for my weight loss. Look how my face is so red. What's up, Junior? What do you need Avast for? I've been getting really high blood pressure lately. I know y'all can tell because my face is turning red. It's really, look how red that is. Ugh, I got to go to the doctor and get it checked because I look like an alcoholic with my nose as ready as it is, don't I? Hey, girl, what are you doing? Damn. Anyway, sorry y'all. My face is warm because I think it's high blood pressure. I need to go to the doctor. That's why I'm trying so hard to get this extra weight off too, y'all, because I'm afraid I'm going to become diabetic if I don't. I stopped drinking 8 years ago, but still do cocaine. You trying to stop using cocaine? Cocaine is a hell of a drug. It's so addicting. But you can stop. You can just totally cold turkey stop cocaine. Now, what I wouldn't just, what I would do if I were you is I would make a plan. Okay. Oh, so you use cocaine for the sexy time. I see. I see. Okay. So I used to be into that too whenever I did meth. It would make me like super duper crazy in the sack. And so I did the same thing, so I totally can understand. When me and my husband got sober, after the first year, because we were fighting for custody of our son back, I noticed that like we weren't really being intimate with each other, right? And so I went and talked to him about it, and it was because both of us had like, we didn't know what to do sober. We didn't know how to have sober sex. You know what I mean? And so we had to talk about it. If I were you, if your partner is like making you feel like you have to use a substance to perform, you don't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, you can do it without that. And that's what you should tell your partner, that them pressuring you and telling you that you need to use cocaine to, you know, have relations makes you feel like shit. And you don't feel comfortable doing that, and you don't want to do it anymore. That's what I would do. I would be honest with them and tell them like, hey, I was an alcoholic for 8 years and I got sober from alcohol, and I don't want to continue doing cocaine for the rest of my life, you know? Oh, are you a man, 1972 Junior? You're a man, huh? You might need to go to the doctor and get your testosterone checked, honey. Do you know that most of us drug addicts, that most of the guy drug addicts that I know, testosterone is low. So they go to the doctor, they get their hormones checked, they get them a little of testosterone. The next thing you know, they're humping like jackrabbits. My husband has low testosterone, and so that's how I know. And every guy I've ever talked to that did opiates or any kind of like downer has like testosterone issues. Hey, Mickey. So, and just, you know, talk to your doctor about it. Let them know that you used to drink heavily, and now you're, you know, trying to fix your relationship, and you feel like you can't perform. What can you do to stop cocaine? Well, you got to have a plan of action. So what I would do if I were you is I would pick a day that I was going to quit. If you and your partner are both using cocaine, y'all are both, it's important that y'all are on the same page, because it's going to be very challenging to do it on your own if he's in the house and he's using still. And so I'm going to tell you this, but I could never do it this way. I'm just going to be straight up with you. I always had to be removed from the fucking situation. So if you're the kind of person who can say, this is it, cocaine is fucking ruining my life, it is affecting my life in a negative way, and I'm done with this shit, and flush it down the toilet, and then start going to like some support group meetings like AA or NA, or some therapy, or some couples therapy too, that would be very important. You could do that. Now, I could never do that. I always had to have some tragic shit happen, right? I had to have some tragic ass shit happen to where it would snap me out of it. You know what I mean? Is your girl putting pressure on you? And I'll tell you guys this, like, I don't know how old you are, but like, I'm a 40-year-old woman, and I'll be damned if my old man's going to put pressure on me to do anything that I don't want to do. And so, like, I compromise because I love my husband, and I want to make him happy, you know, but if he was doing dope and trying to get me to do dope with him and get in the bed or whatever, I would be like, get the fuck up out of here, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do, you know? But I do understand the appeal of doing stimulants during sex, because it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. But, you know, we can't live that high life forever. it's bad. First of all, if we continue living like that, then, we can't take care of our kids. We can't have kids. If we do have kids, then we bring them into a bad situation. Cocaine is really expensive too. Or at least it was in my day. And so if you're buying cocaine every day, that gets to be a hefty amount of money. Suboxone to me, you guys, and this is just my personal opinion, but if I was a doctor, I would never put someone on Suboxone if they didn't have an opioid use disorder or some kind of chronic pain. But I can tell you, I'm a polysubstance user, so I was addicted to multiple substances. And since I have been on Suboxone, I don't crave drugs like I did before. Now, I've also done a lot of work. Like, I've been sober almost 8 years. And I can't believe that I get to say that. Do you know there was a time where I could not even get 6 months sober? And every time I have a sober birthday, I make a video on my YouTube channel and we go live. So for the past 5 years, I have every one of my sober birthdays where we're like celebrating. And I remember for some reason coming up on 7 years was like really difficult for me for some reason. Like I was having hella triggers and wanting to get high and shit. And now that I'm past the 7-year mark, like I feel like I'm kind of just like, this is my life now, and I'm not going to throw my life away for no damn stupid drug, I like having nice shit. I like buying new purses, y'all. I like buying new purses. I love spending my money on makeup that I don't wear every day. I like to be able to buy, thank you, Donna. I like being able to buy Nate new outfits and stuff, And it just makes me so happy to be able to do those things. If I hadn't stayed sober, I wouldn't be able to do those things, So, I know it can seem like really hard though whenever you first get sober. It's overwhelming, It was for me. But I think a lot of the reason why it was so overwhelming for me personally, you guys, was because I had CPS breathing down my back. I wish I could have gotten sober on my own accord, Like, I wish I didn't have to get sober with CPS kicking my ass, Yeah, Suboxone doesn't do anything for me now, like, because I have been on it for so many years. But I will tell you this, when I first started taking it, it made me tired a lot, and I hated it. I remember I was taking 12 milligrams, and I just fucking hated it, dude. And so that's when I started tapering after like 2 or 3 years. And once I got down under like 6 milligrams, I started to feel better. You're welcome. And listen, Junior, you ain't got to do nothing you don't want to do. Tell your old lady she can go get a rabbit or something. Tell her to get a vibrator if she needs to do it. Tell her to relax, that you're trying to heal from trauma and get sober from cocaine. Okay? But I will tell you all, back in the Dizzy, when I was like 21, my friend Jackie was on Suboxone, and I had never taken a Suboxone in my life, y'all. And she gave me a Suboxone pill, and I crushed the whole thing up and I snorted it. And when I tell you guys, I was projectile vomiting for 3 days. It was horrible. I was sick. It was not something I enjoyed. It was too strong. I got off in January for a little bit, and then I got back on the quarter to half a milligram that I'm on. I'm only on like a little sliver of a half a milligram, basically. I think I might always be on it, you guys, because I'm the kind of person that, like, I don't know how to explain this, but like, it really helps me with my overall like sense of well-being, with my depression. I know I'll be on it until my son is a teenager. Okay? Hold on a second. Until my son is a teenager, I will be on it. Just because I don't want to put myself through withdrawal and my little boy be little like he is now, 8 years old, and have to see me going through that, because I struggled a lot last year staying in bed because of depression. And so I don't want to do that this year, you know? Yeah, the tiny, I mean, I take half of 1 milligram, and I haven't craved opioids in 8 years. I can't think of the last time I wanted to get high on Roxy's, and I shot those motherfuckers. But I will tell you, I do struggle with thoughts of using stimulants, and I don't know what it is. I think a lot of it is because I'm triggered by my weight. But that's the one drug that I always come back to wanting to use still, is because I know it's crazy, because meth made me so crazy, you guys. Like, I would hallucinate and be walking down the street swatting flies that weren't there, talking to people that weren't there. Like, I was a hot mess. And for some reason, it's just like the energy, the weight loss, that's the appeal, and that still to this day appeals to me, you know what I mean? But I love my son more than I love being skinny, so that's why my ass got fat. You know? I know that if I did meth, I wouldn't be able to take care of my son, and I know that for sure. Because after a couple days high on meth, I start seeing things, I start talking to people that aren't there, I start going downhill, you know? And so I really enjoy my life today, you know, and when I really sit and think about it, would it be worth it to go back and use meth one last time? It wouldn't be worth it, because I would hurt my son. And that's when I tell you guys that my son, I will spend the rest of my life trying to make it up to my son. The fact that I lost him for that year. And I know he doesn't remember that. He doesn't remember it at all. He was only 1. But I remember it. I remember what it was like. So, I will never use drugs as long as my son is alive. You know what I mean? And I'm sure he's going to outlive me. So, thanks, Mickey. I'm sorry. Yeah, I used to get pressured a lot. And when I started my YouTube channel, and I was, you know, trying to help people to feel like not so alone, that they were not so alone being on subs, you know. And I used to put pressure on myself because I felt like I had to prove myself to everybody to show them that I could do it, you know. And so I put myself through all this discomfort just to prove to people that I could get off, right? But getting off was at a detriment to my mental health, you know? And so it wasn't worth it to me, you know? I proved it to people for what? They don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? Most of the people who, like, say something about a person being on medication-assisted treatment, most of those people, they won't even be alive next year. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. Okay? I cannot tell you how many people have looked at me and said, "You're not sober. You're not in recovery. You shouldn't be sharing your story." And they're dead now. You know? So they were, you know, they relapsed and died because of the stigma keeping them from even trying to get on something that could save their life, you know? That's crazy. I can't believe you think that they would allow you to be on MAT as a nurse, because if you have an addiction, you could steal medication. You know what I mean? So you think that they would want you to be on something to help you. But like I said, I always tell people this. If I could go back and change one thing in my active addiction, it would be that when I got pregnant, I went to treatment. Like, that was the biggest mistake I could have ever made, was being afraid to get help. You know what I mean? I should have just taken my fucking pregnant ass and put myself into treatment. I knew how to do it. I had been to treatment 4 or 5 times before that. You know, I should have, the moment I found out I was pregnant, I should have kissed my husband, told him I loved him, I'll be back in 30 days. You know what I mean? But, you know, when you're in a relationship with somebody and y'all are both using substances and making excuses for each other, oh, it's just a hot mess. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's good, JR. Listen to me. That's cutting back. That's harm reduction. And so that's a positive step in the right direction, my guy. Yeah, me and my husband are married, and he's sober too. So we both got sober in 2015. Thank God. That's good, Mickey. Now, that's why I came on here, you guys, to tell you guys about those guys who were taking money from people and then saying that they're putting them in treatment and they're keeping the money. Which, you know what, this is what I'm going to say too. At the end of the day, when people are doing bad stuff like that, they will be found out, you know? And so what we have to do, people that are in recovery, we just got to keep helping people. We just got to be here to lend a helping hand, to lend an ear, you know, and just support people and catch the people, because there's going to be fallout from these people manipulating, stealing money, fake sending people to treatment. And so when all that fucking blows up, we'll be the ones who are catching the people who are, you know, in the fallout of that. Well, Junior, you should go to your doctor and talk to him about seeing if he can prescribe you something to help you with that. Because listen, guys have problems sometimes, you know. Go to your doctor, let them know that you're having, what is it called, ED or whatever, erectile dysfunction. And there's nothing to be ashamed of, okay? There's nothing to be ashamed of, because we all go through it. I remember one time I was on this antidepressant and I was drier than the Sahara Desert for a whole year. I couldn't even make myself it was just completely, it was so uncomfortable. And it was because this damn antidepressant I was on. When I got off the antidepressant, everything went back to normal. Yeah, get those hormones checked. But I'm tired, y'all. I'm going to go lay down. My old ass is tired. It does. Especially those antidepressants mess with everything, I feel like. But especially with sex drive and all the other stuff, you know? But anyway, I love you guys. I'm going to go lay down with Neil and Nate, because I got to wake up early in the morning to take him to school. But I love you guys. Love you, live. I love you guys. Thanks for listening to me. Me too, Mickey. I've just now started learning about harm reduction in the last year, and I am gung-ho for it. So I used to not be, because I was raised up in the 12 steps, but you know, we got to put all that old school mentality behind us, and we got to meet people where they're at. The kids these days, they need it differently than we needed it back then. You know, they have this deadly drug, fentanyl, that's just dropping them like flies. And so we really got to meet people where they're at, because if we don't, they will literally go out and die. Like, there's no second chances with fentanyl, you know? And so that's why we just got to, who cares how they get sober? I don't give a damn what they got to do. You know, let's just help them get their asses in the sober life. Okay, love y'all. Good night.